Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. It is Monday, and I hope you're all doing good. I hope you all had a great weekend. Today, we're going to be talking about one-step equations, multiplication, and division. Last week, we did one-step equations with addition and subtraction. So we're going to be working the same equations, and they're going to have the same steps, but we're using multiplication and division, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to complete this worksheet, and then also we're going to complete on slide 2, which is in the next worksheet. Okay, that'll be your assignment for today in a Google form. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first one. It says one-step equations can also involve, well, we just said it, so multiplication and too big on this one, multiplication and division. Okay, so we can also do the same thing with those two operations. Okay, so here it says use the kid right to write and solve the equations below. So we know that the big one is going to equal x, and our white square is going to be 1, and our shaded square is going to be -1. Okay, or we can put +1 here if we want to. Our white square is +1. Okay, so let's go down here and let's fill in this first solving one-step equation, the steps. Okay, all right, before we do that, we're going to solve this. So let's look at this equation. How many x's do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3 x's. Okay, so we're going to put 3x, right, equals what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 equals 12. Okay. All right. So what times 3 equals 12? 4, right? 4. 4 times 3 equals 12. 4 times 3. Because we have, look, one group of 3, two groups of 3, 3, and then finally 4 groups of 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay, our steps just like before, the variable, same thing with addition, subtraction, the variable must be alone or we said isolated. Okay, so same thing. It's like we're working with the scale again. It must be isolated on one side of the equation. Okay, isolate the variable by using inverse, same steps, inverse or opposite operations. The equation must remain balanced. And then finally, check your solution. Okay, check your solution. So with our 3x equals 12, here's how we would do those steps. We know the solution is 4. Okay, so like before, we're going to, let's draw a line down where the equal sign is. Whatever you do to side A, you have to do to side B. Okay, and I'm just labeling these two sides just for reference. All right, so let's go ahead. We have to isolate x, the variable. So we're going to use the inverse operation or the opposite. So we have 3 times x here, so we're going to divide. We're going to divide by 3 because division is the opposite operation than multiplication. All right, so divide by 3 and divide by 3. Okay, and here's how that works. Let's go over here to this side and we're going to see what this means. So we have 3x, 3 times x, okay? And so when we divide by 3, basically we were dividing by 3, okay? Dividing by 3. What is 3 divided by 3? Well, it equals 1. So we can divide each side by 1, okay? So when we do that, this is going to cancel out. Okay, because the 1, right? That just means 1x or just x. Okay, and then if we do that on the other side, 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and look at this step 1 down here with the models. Okay. All right, it says use your understanding of solving equations to write and solve the equations represented below. We're not working with expressions right now. These are equations. Okay, so here we go. Let's go. What's our equation here? We have 2x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals 6. All right, so 2x, I'm going to do our work over here, equals 6. Okay, let's draw our line. All right, we have to get the variable isolator by itself, so we're going to use the inverse operation. So 2 times x, the opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. Divide by 2. Okay, we know 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we're going to cancel that out. And so all we're left with is x. X equals 6 divided by 2, and that is 3. Okay, 6 divided by 2. We're going to divide this model into groups of 2. And how many groups of 2 do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. So our solution is 3. All right, number 2, we have 2. We have 2 positive 2. 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4x. 4x. All right. So same thing. Let's write our equation out. And we're going to draw a line where the equal sign is. What we do to side A, we're going to do to side B. All right, our first step, we have to get our variable isolated or by itself. Okay, so we need to take this 4. How are we going to do that? Well, we have multiplication, so division is the inverse operation. So we're going to divide by 4 and divide by 4. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that just leaves us with x, 1x, right? Equals, and then 2 divided by 4, what is 2 divided by 4? All right, well, let's see. 2 divided by 4. We're going to put 2 inside, divided by 4. 4 cannot go into 2, so remember we have to add our decimal and a 0. Now, 4 can go into 20 5 times. Okay, so our solution is 5. Or you could say, probably you could say 1/2, right? That equals 1/2. Okay. All right, let's look at slide 2 now. Use the model to write an equation and then solve. Okay, here's our model. What's our equation going to be? All right, so let's look at our variable. We have t as our variable. We don't know really what they're talking about, but we are dealing with money. Okay, how many t's equals $92? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 t's. So our equation will be 8t equals $92. T is our variable. Okay, maybe we're talking about t-shirts. 8 t-shirts cost $92, maybe. Or 8 taquitos, maybe. I'm not sure what T is. Or 8 tiger sharks, maybe cost $92. I don't know. That'd be really cheap for some sharks. But anyway, all right. So we're going to figure out how much T. What's the value of T, our variable? Okay. Well, to do that, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Let's go ahead and write our equation over here. Just going to work it on the side. So 92. Okay. And then opposite of multiplication is division, so we can't forget our line here. What we do to side A, we do to side B. So we're going to divide by 8, right? Opposite of multiplication is division. We're going to use the inverse operation. Okay. All right, so 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that leaves us with 1t over here. And 92 divided by 8. What is 92 divided by 8? Let's do it down here. 92 divided by 8. Well, 8 can go into 9 one time. We subtract, and there's 12. Okay, 8 can go into 12 one time. Subtract, and we're left with 4, right? If we borrow, we have to borrow, of course, you know that. Borrow, and then 8 can't go into 4, so I have to add my decimal and a 0. Let's not forget our decimal up here. Drop down to 0 to make 40, and then 8 can go into 45 times. All right. Okay, so that means that T equals $11.50. So that means 1 tiger shark, 1 t-shirt, 1 cup of tea, all that stuff equals $11.50. That would be the solution to our equation. All right, so you're going to work problems 1 through 9. Okay, let's work the first one together just so you know what I'm expecting. Okay, and we have 3x equals 12. We've already done this one, but we're going to do it again. So we have 3x equals, I said plus, didn't I, earlier? 3x equals 12. Okay, so let's draw our line. Our opposite, we have to isolate our variable, which is x, get it by itself, so we have to use the inverse operation. Okay, so we have 3 times x, so let's use division to isolate our variable. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so it leaves us with 1x, and then 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Okay, so x equals 4. Okay, and all this, what I'm doing to the side, should you can do it right here or off to the side too, it doesn't matter. Please just show your work though. And then if we check this, what we would do is we'd put 4 in place of x to see if that works. So we have 3x equals 12. And then 3 times 4 and then equals 12. And then we have 12 equals 12. That's how you would check. Okay. All right. So 1 through 9. Okay. Let's do number 2. We haven't worked with the division problem. I want to show you how to do that. Okay. So I'm going to erase all this. No, I'm just going to do it down here. I'm going to do it in blue. I'll do number 2 in blue over here. All right. We have x divided by 2 equals 28. Okay. Well, what's the opposite of division? Multiplication is the opposite of division. So how are we going to multiply? What do we need to multiply? Let's draw our line. So our variable is x, right? We have to get x by itself. So this 2, what is the inverse of 2 in the denominator, right? So let's just multiply by 2. So if we have 2 here, so 2 times x over 2. All right, and then we're going to do on the other side, 28 times 2. Okay, well, what does 2 over 1, or 2 is a whole number, so as a fraction that would be over 1, okay? And then if we multiply these, I'm just going to show you how this works. If we multiply these together, did you see that 2 went there? So that's kind of weird. Let's see if we can change this real quick. Hang on. Okay, so if we multiply 2 times x over 2, right? 2 is a whole number, so as a fraction, it's over 1, right? And we can just multiply fractions, so that would equal 2x over 2. Well, we're stuck with the same thing that we were before. We know that 2 over 2 equals 1, so we are left with x. Okay, when we multiply it by 2, we're left with x, because 2 over 2 equals 1, so it equals 1x. All right, let me scroll down here just so we can continue on. So if this is x, all right, this is x. What does 28 times 2 equal? Well, 28 times 2 is, let me do it over here real quick, 28 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. We carry 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 56. X equals 56. All right. So let's go back up here to our number 2 equation. And we would say x equals 56. Because 56 divided by 2. Right? And we could also just multiply these, right? 2 times 28 is what we did. Okay. And so to check it, we're going to put in our 56 in place of x. So 56 over 2 equals 28. All right, and 56 divided by 2 does equal 28, so 28 equals 28. That's what we want to see. Okay, All right, thank you so much. And if you have any further questions or comments or need help with this right here, just please join me on Zoom from 105 to 150. All right, I hope you all have a great day.